Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Lingga Perkasa. I'm from Pancasakti University, Bekasi, majoring English Education Program. Today, I'm going to share topic, the challenges and risks impacted to teenagers because of social media. But before we start the topic, I want to ask, which generation use the social media more often? Well, based on statistics from survey from FG in 2024, Gen Z, Millennials, and Gen X are the most domination group that use social media the most. Based on this survey, do they aware of challenges and risks accessing social media, especially for teenagers? Well, in my own opinion, not all teenagers are aware of the challenges and risks. Well, today we will discuss about it. What are the causes, the impacts, and the prevention strategies based on the research and expert opinions? Okay, so what are the challenges and risks? The first is privacy concerns. What are included in privacy concerns? The first is data collection and tracking. Social media platforms collect extensive data from users, often without full understanding or explicit consent. This includes personal information, browsing habits, location data, and even facial recognition through photos. The accumulation of such data poses significant privacy risks, as users may not fully control how their data is used, shared, or sold to third parties. The second one is third-party access. Social media companies often provide access to user data to third parties such as advertisers or data analytics firms. While this helps create personalized content and ads, it also opens up to the possibility data misuse, breaches, or even selling sensitive information to unauthorized entities, leaving users vulnerable. The third one is cybersecurity threats. Social media platforms are frequently targeted by hackers, leading to data breaches that expose users' personal information, including passwords, financial details, and private messages. The interconnected nature of social media accounts makes users particularly vulnerable to phishing attacks or identity theft. Next is location-based tracking. Many social media apps access users' location data, which can lead to risks if this information is shared publicly. Stalking, theft, and other crimes can occur when malicious actors gain access to real-time or historical location data. These privacy concerns highlighted the growing challenges individuals face in protecting their personal information in the digital age, as social media continues to integrate into everyday life. Remember, keep your personal information just for yourself and do not share through social media. Okay? Next is cyberbullying and online harassment. According to the Cyberbullying Research Center, approximately 36.5% of students in grades 6 to 12 experience cyberbullying in their lifetime. Wow. The pervasive nature of social media makes it an ideal breeding ground for such negative behaviors, significantly impacting teenagers, mental health, and social lives. So, what are the causes of cyberbullying and online harassment? The first is anonymity and disinhibition. Based on expert insight, named Dr. John Suller, a psychologist, explains that the online disinhibition effect, where individuals feel empowered to say things they wouldn't say in person due to pervasive anonymity of the internet. This inhibition can lead to aggressive behavior of cyberbullying. The second one is peer pressure and social comparison. Experts' opinion, named Dr. Dan Always, a pioneer in bullying research, notes that the competitive nature of social media can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy among teens, leading them to lash out at others to feel superior or to fit in with peer group. Okay? And the next is lack of parental oversight. Research findings, a study by the American Academy of Pediatrics emphasizes the importance of parental involvement in monitoring teenagers' online activities. The lack of supervision can lead to increased vulnerability to cyberbullying. Okay? So, what are the impacts to the teenagers? The first is mental health consequences. Expert findings that according to a study published in journal JAMA Psychiatry, victims of cyberbullying at high risk for developing mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation. Well, mostly happen in Gen Z this time. Dr. Samir Hinduja, a leading researcher of cyberbullying, emphasizes that psychological effects can be long-lasting. And the second one is academic challenges. Research analysis, a report from National Center of Education Statistics, indicates that students who experience cyberbullying often suffer from decreased academic performance due to anxiety and fear of attending the school. Wow, that's so pity. Okay, and the next is social withdrawal. Expert perspective named Dr. Pachin points out that victims may withdraw from social activities, leading to isolation and further exacerbating mental health issues. Okay, so what are the prevention for this cyberbullying and online harassment? The first is education and awareness campaigns. Dr. Hinduja advocates for comprehensive educational programs in school that focus on the effects of cyberbullying and promote empathy and kindness online. The second one is robust reporting mechanism. Policy suggestions, social media platforms are encouraged to create more accessible reporting systems and improve transparency regarding how reports are handled, as highlighted in a report by the Cyberbullying Research Center. Next is support networks, community initiatives. Establishing peer support programs and counseling services in schools can provide victims with safe space to discuss their experiences and receive guidance. So, cyberbullying and online harassment are significant concerns for today's teenagers, fueled by dynamic of social media. Experts emphasize the need for collective action from parents, educators, and social companies to combat this issue effectively. Raising awareness, implementing robust prevention strategies, and creating supportive environments are crucial in addressing cyberbullying and its far-reaching impacts. Okay, so what's next? The next challenges and risk is spread misinformation. Misinformation refers to false or misleading information spread without malicious intent, while this information is deliberately false information spread to deceive. Social media has become a primary source of news and information for teenagers, making them particularly vulnerable to the rapid dissemination of misinformation. According to a Pew Research Center survey, around 50% of teens report encountering false information on social media platforms. So, what are the causes of spreading misinformation? The first is algorithmic influence. Expert insight named Dr. Eli Pariser, author of The Filter Bubble, discusses how social media algorithms prioritize engaging content over actual accuracy, leading to the widespread circulation of sensationalized or misleading information. This design encourages the viral spread of misinformation as users are exposed to content that reinforces their beliefs. The second one is social dynamics. Peer influence, named Dr. Amanda Lenhart from Pew Research Center, teenagers are significantly influenced by their peers. If misinformation is shared within their social circles, they are more likely to accept and share it without questioning its validity. Okay? And next is cognitive biases. Expert analysis from Dr. Tally Sherrod, a cognitive neuroscientist, notes that cognitive biases such as confirmation bias lead individuals to favor information that aligns with their existing beliefs. This tendency can cause teenagers to uncritically accept and propagate misinformation that resonates with their views. Okay, so what are the impacts to the teenagers for spreading the misinformation? The first is understanding of current events. Recent finding, a study published in Media Literacy, research found that exposure to misinformation can distort teenagers' understanding of critical issues such as health, politics, and social justice. This misrepresentation can lead to misinformed opinions and belief. The second one is behavioral consequences. Expert commentary, Dr. David Lazar, a professor of political science, highlights that misinformation can impact behaviors such as vaccination decisions and participation in civic activities, as teenagers may base their actions on false premises. Third is mental health effects. Expert opinions from Dr. Julie Albright, a sociologist, explains that constant exposure to misinformation can create anxiety and confusion among teenagers, contributing to feelings of distrust in media and society. So, what are the prevention strategies of spreading misinformation? The first is media literacy education. Expert recommendation Dr. Howard Ringgold emphasizes the importance of integrating media literacy into school curricula. Teaching teenagers how to critically evaluate sources and discern credible information from misinformation is essential for fostering informed citizenship. Next is fact-checking tools. Promoting resources, organizations like factcheck.org and Snopes provide tools that can help teenagers verify information before sharing it, so there will be no hoax. Educators are encouraged to introduce these resources to the students. Next is encouraging critical thinking. Educational approaches, Dr. David Levy, a professor of information studies, advocates for teaching critical thinking skills to help teenagers analyze and assess information critically. Encouraging open discussions about misinformation can also foster a more discerning attitude toward online content. The spread of misinformation among teenagers through social media is a pressing issue that requires concerted effort from parents, educators, and social media platforms. Experts emphasize the importance of media literacy, critical thinking, and the use of fact-checking resources to combat misinformation by equipping teenagers with the skills to navigate the digital landscape. We can foster a more informed and resilient generation. Okay? So, in the end, social media can be useful, also dangerous for us, especially for teenagers. We must be wise in using it. Parents, teachers, society, and even the social media platform themselves must unite and gather to combat any challenges and risks that may destroy our next generation. We have the role to control and create positive and safe environment, especially for teenagers accessing in social media. Let's do our part. Thank you. Have a nice day. I hope my information can be useful for you all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.